The Second Mind, a novel by Fred Duckworth. Chapter 1, Glass and Asphalt. The gala took place 300 feet above the city, in a ballroom suspended halfway between glass and sky. The floor was a single pane so clear that guests sometimes looked down mid-conversation and forgot what they were saying. Waiters drifted past carrying trays, where the champagne flutes glowed faintly from within, making every gesture shimmer. Outside, low clouds slid against the windows like slow breakers on invisible shores. People said it felt like being inside a snow globe designed by a billionaire who refused to believe in gravity. "James, there you are." Celia's voice rose above the hum of the ballroom, light and effortless, the kind of voice that made people turn automatically. She slid her hand through his arm before he could answer, flashing that practiced smile that felt too large for her face tonight. At her side stood Ethan Cole, his bow tie already loosened, looking around with the open curiosity of someone who still couldn't quite believe his name had been on the guest list. "We were just talking about you," said Mark Highland, raising a glass. His tuxedo was a shade too small for his ambition. "Celia was telling us how you're finally taking a vacation. True or false?" "False," James said, aiming for dry humor, but landing somewhere nearer fatigue. "Oh, come on," Celia cut in, giving him a look that was half plea and half warning. "He promised, didn't you, hun?" "Careful," one of the guests said, grinning, gesturing vaguely upward. "If he actually stops whatever he's doing up there, I'm not sure how safe it will be for the rest of us." His tone was light, but the words made a couple heads turn, with expressions that said everyone had heard the headlines but were unclear about the details. James hesitated. The small group waited, smiling, perfectly balanced between curiosity and politeness. Celia's hand tightened on his arm. Ethan watched him with the easy familiarity of someone who had seen him in ripped jeans and paint-stained t-shirts, not just in black tie. "Yeah, I did promise a vacation," James said at last. "In theory, I keep thinking I'll take a week off once I've done something that actually matters. And then I remember I'm spending my nights sanding stair rails in a house we don't need, just building nicer cages for my money." That earned a different kind of laugh, shorter, edged with surprise. Someone said something about how, in theory, it was better than never. Celia laughed last, and a little louder, smoothing the moment the way she always did. She angled her face toward his, just enough for him to catch the softness in her eyes. "Tell him about the house," Celia said suddenly. "James just finished restoring that old craftsman near the lake." Mark whistled. "Still collecting antiques, huh?" "Some of us just buy coffee tables. James builds cathedrals. It's mostly sawdust and optimism," James said, smiling for real this time. "But the floor doesn't squeak anymore, so that's progress." Celia laughed again, this time softer, genuine, and touched his sleeve. "You should see that place," she said to the group. "He rebuilt the staircase by hand, wouldn't let the contractors near it." "Well," James replied, "the railing was crooked, so you rebuilt the whole thing," Ethan teased. "Sometimes that's easier than fixing what's crooked." Something in his tone made Celia glance up at him, but before either could say more, a waiter appeared with refills, and the moment dissolved back into the chatter of the room. As the conversation drifted away from them, James let Celia's voice blend into the sea of polished laughter and crystal clinking for the umpteenth time that evening. He found himself wishing they were home, just the two of them. No cameras, no lights making everything shine too evenly. As the band slid into another song, the lights dimmed a shade, turning the room the color of warm honey. A new wave of guests drifted in from the elevators, cheeks pink from the ride up, eyes widening at the view. "Ready to escape?" Celia asked under her breath, still smiling for the benefit of a passing photographer. She didn't wait for James's answer before adding more softly, "Before they invent another reason to keep you on stage." He glanced at Ethan. "You all right if we sneak out early?" Ethan lifted his glass in an easy salute. "I got a picture of myself on a floating floor and a drink that costs more than my first car. I'm good. Go before someone auctions you off for charity." Celia laughed genuinely this time. She squeezed Ethan's shoulder in thanks, then tugged gently on James's arm. "Come on, before I change my mind and start enjoying this." They threaded their way through clusters of sequins and tuxedos, pausing for the occasional handshake, a quick congratulations, a joke about saving the world one algorithm at a time.